So I've never won a game of Fortnite. It's a fact that I both am ashamed of and I don't really care that much about. It could be because I just haven't tried, I haven't put enough hours in, or maybe it's because every time I get into the top 10 my heart starts to beat really fast and I nearly pass out. Or maybe it's because I didn't have this! Fortnite for Kids, 5-in-1 book. The complete guide to becoming a Fortnite god with a fast and flawless victory. Jeez. Attention to all Fortnite fans. In this book, we'll touch on the details about how to win a Fortnite victory royale. Pick up the book, turn to the first chapter, and start learning all that you need to know about playing Fortnite and winning a victory royale. Sounds exciting. Now I found this book by typing the word Fortnite into Amazon. That was my first mistake. My second mistake was spending $10 on this book. My third mistake was existing? Now look at this cover. This cover is just a horrendous vomit of words, colors, and player models. And look at this. These two are this just the same girl. They just flipped it. Like, I know there's more than one female player model, so my main goal is to use this book to help me win a game of Fortnite, because I've never have and I want to. You know, it's embarrassing. You like, a little kid comes up to you like, yo, you play Fortnite? You play Fortnite? And I'm just like, yeah. And they're like, you ever won a game? And I'm just, no. So if I win using what I've learned from this book, I'm gonna give it a 5-star review on Amazon. And that is the first Deluxe negative pinky promise of 2018. And I always keep my promises. So I'm too lazy to read this whole book. I mean, it's like 300 pages long. So I looked at the table of contents and looked at the chapters that were the least cringy looking. Book 5. I went to book 5. Book 5 looked like it was the least bad. Book 5 is the least bad one. Chapter 1 is about the history of the whole Battle Royale style. You know how it goes from the Japanese Battle Royale to Hunger Games to Minecraft survival games to PUBG to Fortnite. That's the one. Alright, here's where you start actually learning how to get good at Fortnite. You know, just the general advice, like don't stay out in the open, gather resources, get weapons, just try to stay away from people. Oh, and my favorite quote, this whole thing has like bunches of paragraphs just in bullet points, which is a great form for a book, but there's just one bullet point here that just says, a good way to hide your presence is to crouch. Chapter 3 has the 10 golden rules to become a pro. This is like, I'm just gonna skim through this because... Rule number 1, hunter and prey. Choose which one you want to be. Rule number 2, play with headphones. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Rule number 3, leave that door closed. When you go into a room, close the door, so it looks like you're not there. Rule number 4, everyone can hear you screaming on the map. Gunshots are loud. Side note, I think this is a parody on the In Space No One Can Hear You Scream, because it's like everyone can hear you scream on the Fortnite map. Because I think it's like no one can hear you scream in space, but like that's not the saying. It's in space no one can hear you scream. So it should be in Fortnite everyone can hear you scream. Rule number 5, jumping is a bit like running away. Jump on tires, I guess? Rule number 6, all tastes +1. Carry a shotgun for close range, an assault rifle for mid-range, and a sniper rifle for long range. Rule number 7, weapons and rarities. It goes gray common, green uncommon, blue rare, purple epic, and orange is legendary. Rule number 8, where to land. It says Junk Junction is the highest area of loot, and the lowest amount of players is like Flush Factory, I guess. So I'm gonna land on either of those. Rule number 9, building structures. Learn to build, you big dumb idiot. And finally, rule number 10. Bimby line bling. I'm just going to read this whole paragraph to you because it is just spectacular. The most famous of us have the opportunity to make a group with the well-known singer Drake, while the less fortunate individuals under the age of 12 delight in bawling without restraint in the microphone. If you want to avoid listening to the verses of American children with too much free time, turn off the in-game voice chat in the game options. So, shots fired, I guess? Chapter 8, How to Fight Like a Champion. Oh man, I was so excited for this chapter. Because I was looking in the table of contents, I was like, oh man, I want to fight like a champion. This chapter's going to be great. But now that I read it, it's just like the same as chapter 3. It's just, man, you got to find your play style. You got to not go to people. You got to use headphones. They really want you to use headphones. Chapter 9, the players to avoid and how to recognize them. Oh, chapter 9. This one's a doozy. Basically, it tells a type of player, a distinctive trait, and where it's usually found. But the way it says it is so incorrect. I'll just let you look. The architect. Distinctive trait, obsessive compulsive constructor. Okay. It is usually found several meters above the ground. What are you talking about, Deluxe? That seems perfectly normal. The sportsman. Distinctive trait, love to make a corset. It is usually found always on the move. Side note, I'm just going to read this whole paragraph for you because it's great. The sportsman often goes out for a walk, and he spends a lot of time letting himself be fascinated by the beauty of the world around him. You let yourself get a little bit of here and a little bit of it, popping up every so often over the horizon. The problem is that between a farming session and a secondary goal, it's never where it should be, and eventually, you get used to playing without it. What is it? Is it the beauty of the world? Is it the sportsman? I don't get that one. It's just weird. The FPS patient. Distinctive trait. Think about being on COD. It is usually found to play COD. I'm just going to skip over the rest of these because they're all just equally as bad and it would just get a bit repetitive. So, and I'm not about repetitive. Chapter 10's about the Save the World game. That costs money. I don't have that. So that's the end of the book. There's definitely not another chapter or anything. That's actually the end, guys. So now that we're done with the book, there's only one thing to do. It's time to put what I learned to the test in a game. But wait, what have I learned? Well, you gotta land at Flush Factory or Junk Junction, get a shotgun, assault rifle, and a sniper rifle, and full health and shield if you want. Then you gotta get like building materials. Then you wait. Stay away from people, and then kill the best guy. So with all that, I'm gonna have to do something that I don't know if anybody's actually done before. I'm gonna have to take Fortnite seriously. Let's do this. That's so bad. So I did it. I actually won a game of Fortnite. How did I do it? Wow. Spectacular. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. It's actually quite easy. I'd say it's like mid-range hard. It's not like easy. I know what you're saying. Deluxe, what did your winning game look like? Well, I'll show you. So I thanked the bus driver, jumped off the bus, and headed towards Flush Factory. I noticed, hey, there's someone else headed there. So I went somewhere else. I stocked up on weapons and metal, and then headed to the circle, and I waited. Then I went to the new circle, and I waited. And then I went to the new circle, and you get the point. Once I noticed there was 2 of us left, I went to the last guy, and with spectacular aim, murdered him, just right on the spot. So that's it. Get supplies, wait, and then murder the last guy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. No risk involved. So, Pro Gamer Guide, was it fast? Well, it took me about a week to win, so I guess? Well, was it flawless? Well, I got 1 kill and I took minimal damage, so actually, yeah. I didn't expect this book to work, but it was actually a fast and flawless victory. And hey, a deluxe negative pinky promise is a promise. Thank you all for watching. I'm actually redoing this outro a few days later, as you can tell by my change of clothes. If you like the video, leave a like, share it around, subscribe, hit that little bell if you're feeling crazy. I'd like to give a shout out to my friends Kamenak and Kayla. They really pushed me to actually finish this one. There's a lot of reviews I have that don't make it past the script. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to the rest of the Weekend Support Gaming group. You guys are awesome. Can't wait for Smash to come out because that's going to be a blast. Unless it's already out, then it will be a blast. Go to Kamanak's channel. Him and I are doing a video together that should be out in the next year, hopefully, if all goes well. So go to his channel, subscribe, ring his little bell. And, yeah, just remember, a balloon may pop under pressure, but you're not a balloon. You're a human